I'm going to be showing you guys how to take out a transmission on a 2009 Ford Fusion. This is a manual transmission, and I'm taking it out so I can replace the clutch, and I wasn't able to find anything online, so I'm going to give you guys a quick run over. I already have most of it taken apart, but I'm going to give you guys just some quick pointers of what I've already done, so hopefully it'll help you guys if you're getting into this for the first time. Alright, so we're on the driver's side here. You can see I've already taken off the, what is that, the ABS sensor. Yep, taken off the ABS sensor. It's held on with just a few bolts here. I took those off and tucked it up out of our way. You're going to want to loosen this guy just so that this arm can hang down a little bit, have a little bit of play in it. You can see I've already taken off the rotor. The caliper's just held on here with the bolts. Definitely a good tip as you guys are taking this off. Put the hardware back on whenever you can. You can see I have the nut on here. You're going to want to take this guy off. You're going to need to take this guy off. And then I have already pulled this bolt out here. And how you get to that, go under, and that's just right there. And I think that nut is welded on the back, so you don't need to get a wrench on the back of it. This bolt is going to be a little bit harder. I think I have to drop this frame a little bit before you can actually get a socket on that, because there is just no way to get that out. So I'm going to drop that frame, then I'll be able to pull that bolt, and I should be good to go. You don't need to take off your axle nut. I did that the first time around, but I don't think you need to do that. Here we are on the passenger side. You can see similar story. Take this guy off. Already took this guy off. ABS sensor, rotors off. Again, put hardware back where you find it. I did take off this plastic cover, and you don't need to do that, but it was so quick and easy, and it just gives me a lot more visibility in here. There are a couple bolts on this frame. Just I think there's 3 or 4 just to hold random lines on. So you're going to take those off. I can't remember if there's another one right up there, but there's at least one right here. Yep, I found another little guy right here. You have to take that one off, and then there should be one. Yeah, you can see there's one right there. Okay, looking at it at the engine bay here. I took out the whole air filter, the box. I already pulled the starter out. You can see there. Again, put bolts back where you take them out of. I pulled the battery, the whole battery box. Just got these lines tucked out of the way here. So I basically have everything up here that I need to take out, taken out. I've already unbolted these. There's just a few little switches. You do have to unbolt the slave cylinder and the hydraulic line going to that. Just remember where you take all this stuff off and put it back where it goes. Take videos if you need, showing where stuff was before you took it off. Alright, here we are under the vehicle. Here's the driver's side. The transmission, obviously. You're going to have a lot of these 12, I believe these are 12, maybe 13 millimeter bolts running around the edge. You'll have to take out, taking the frame off. So I didn't do this the first time. I took the transmission off. I scooted it this way, what is that, 4 or 5 inches that I could get that. And so I tried to replace this whole clutch with basically just so that my forearm would fit up between, let me see if I can get a better angle. Just my forearm would fit up between the engine and transmission. And that was a pain in the neck. I think I would have been probably 10-15 hours ahead to just go ahead and do everything I'm showing you now and be able to get this transmission all the way out. But you can see between the frame and the engine, there's just not that much room. And so we got to drop this whole frame. The last thing I've taken off so far is I believe it's the rack and pinion setup. So you have this bolt right there in the middle of the screen that I had to take out. I had this bolt that I had to take out. And then I think I had one more. Let's see, where was that other one? Yeah, it's right in the back there. I'm actually gonna take a 15. And I gotta take this mount off, this engine mount on the back here, so I can get that subframe loose and ready to drop down. And again, I'm not wearing eyeglasses or gloves because I'm not a sissy. Now using an 18, I'm going to pull the two main bolts out, holding the mount on. Okay, so we got these 3 bolts pulled out. Now you can see the steering rack and pinions nice and loose. Let's make sure it's loose on this side. Yep, loose on there. Okay, well, I think we may be ready to pull this frame out. Alright, it looks like I need to pull these 2 out. Is that gonna be 15? I think so. Alright, so we'll take a 15. Remember, we stick the hardware back where it goes. We're gonna do the same thing for this side. Set that guy down there. Then pull off these two 15mm. There we go. Okay, sure enough, now that we drop that down a little bit, we are gonna be able to get this bolt out of here. Very nice. Here we are on the driver's side again. Pull that all the way out. Push down the frame a little if you need to. Okay. In here, I actually missed it with the video camera, but like I told you earlier, I just stuck the socket and 6-inch extension up there. I'll show you guys on this side. Just a nut and a washer is all that came off. Oh boy, let's see if I can show you guys on this side. Alright, so we feed it in there. That's hard to do. Hard to do one-handed here. Alright, well, I got that one off camera too. But you can see just the nut and the washer is all that came off from that guy up there. Alright, so we have our four bolts out. Now we're just gonna, you can kind of see there. Okay, this one was definitely a little bit trickier, but rocking left to right, I was able to get that one out. I think what I'm running into is my axle is holding me tight, but I think that about got us out of there. As you're going around this, just take a double look and make sure nothing's still bolted on where it's gonna give you issues. Ominous creaking. Oh! Sure hope that was water. I got the zip tie. I don't think they're gonna be long enough, and I'm sure 98% of my audience will already know this, but if your zip tie isn't long enough, stick them together like that. And on the other end, then you double the size of your zip ties. I'm gonna zip tie it up to the muffler back here. I have a hunch this'll do it. Aha! TV host said, if the women don't find you handsome, should at least find you handy. think that was the problem. Okay, yeah, once I got that guy out of there, it dropped down fairly easily. Yeah, hanging down. Looks like my zip tie is holding that rack and pinion up. Hopefully I'm not calling that the wrong thing. Get this guy all the way out. Oh! See? I told you it'd come out. Just a matter of time. Okay, well, with that frame out, boy, certainly does open it up down here. I might have to see if there's anything else I feel like doing while I have this guy out. But here you can see there's those two big bolts that went into the main frame. These two came out of the rack and pinion steering. I don't remember where those bolts were. That's a little guy. That's the undercarriage plastic sheet screws too. Same here. Same as I said earlier. Put hardware back. Those are some of the mounts this stuff came off of. Here are those big guys where the bolts came off. So I think 3 out. Disconnect these guys, and I think I'm ready to remove that transmission. I forgot. That's the last bolt pulling on the transmission. So I need to not take that one. Almost had a big oopsie there. I need to not take that one out until I have this engine supported somehow. That's a pretty good view. Okay, you just pull those guys apart. You can use a flathead screwdriver if your nails can't get it, and pull it up and off. That's all there is to it. For this guy next to it, there's a similar process for our Canadian friends. And okay, let's zoom out a little bit here. Pop that out. Pop that out. Okay. Instead of running the 2 posts like I had done last time, I'm actually going to just take this little scissor jack here, and I'm going to hold the engine up with that. So I'm going to run that up right underneath there. That scissor jack will be nice. It won't take up as much room as a floor jack. Before I do that, I'm going to get all the bolts from down below removed that jack may be in the way of. So I'm going to get a few of those pulled out, then I'll put that jack in there, make sure the engine is held up, and then I'm ready to drop this. If you want the weather to turn foul, just try and do something outdoors, especially while you're videoing. Look at that, we got hail coming down. Okay, we're going to take these 2 bolts out really quick to get this axle out of the transmission, so that we can actually get that where it'll lower down. So these are 13s as well. I just use a deep set socket to break those loose. One there, one a little higher. We'll tuck those bolts back in there as soon as we have this out of our way. Oh, goodness. Goodness gracious. We have that out. Go ahead and take a towel. Make sure it's a nice clean new one. Just stuff it in there real gently. Don't want to be hard on that seal. Real gently kind of wiggle it in there so that it stays out of your way, but obviously you can still get it out. Clean up the area. Maybe we'll just tuck that up. There you can see I just have that tucked up on top there. So We'll see if that works, but let's take out the other side. All right, you can see this coming in here. I'm gonna get up in there with a pry bar, see if I can just knock that out real easily. Real gently. And I would have a rag nearby, just in case that leaks a tiny bit when you pull it the rest of the way out. There we go. Let's see if we can just pull that out there. Get a little bit better angle. See if we can just squeeze that out. Oh yeah. There we go. We'll use one of those zip ties that we had earlier. Alright. Hopefully you can see that okay. Got that held up there. And it's to the right a little bit. That way, so that we should be able to get the transmission out without having to move that too much. All right, so we got all those bolts out from below. Now we just have to take out a couple more up here. All right, I'm gonna leave this bolt here in the center. And the reason for that is I know that when I am taking out random bolts, it won't just randomly drop because I have at least one holding it in. But the rest, I'm good to go ahead and take out as fast as I can. I am going to just break this loose though, so that I do have a tiny bit of wiggle once the rest of the bolts are out, but I'm not taking it all the way out because I don't want it to drop. All right, now that our engine is supported, we're gonna start taking out these bolts. They are 13 millimeter. See, I did throw an extra floor jack on that engine just to make sure nothing happens when I'm taking this transmission out. Then I have the jack here as well. I would recommend getting someone to give you a hand to take this out. I think you might be able to do it by yourself, but it'd just be safer to have someone else able to help you out. Hopefully we can get this thing all the way out today. Looks like we have a little bit of nice weather. I've been having to film this in short little intervals between the rain, but I think we got some sunshine now and should be able to take this the rest of the way out. I will not be replacing my clutch. I already did that, but the reason I'm taking this apart again is because I have a oil leak. I think it's my rear main seal that I'm gonna have to replace, or just see what's up with that. Yeah, hopefully this is helpful for you guys. This is definitely my first video I'm making, so hopefully you guys have a little bit of patience for my shortcomings as I try and get better at this. If you have questions, put them below. I'll see if I can help. And if you have comments for, I don't know, anything useful you guys know from making videos, if you make them yourself or anything else like that, let me know. It'd be appreciated. So, but let's see if we can get this out. Okay, I have one bolt left in there. My brother's going to take out with me supporting this, and then we're going to lower it down.
Taking this bolt out and this bolt out to get the engine mount off, so I can get past this right here. Can you see where my finger is? So, because we can't get it out of that, so I have to pull the whole engine mount off so that will fit in there. That you're out.
Okay.
Now you can just come straight down with it. Well, go towards the engine.
Is that what Samuel's holding?
This is the transmission. Trying to get this thing.
This close bolt is out now.
There, engine mount's out.
All right, can you get a hand on the?
Got it on the bolt, but I don't have much weight.
All right, let it down.
I got it.
Okay, let go.
And I don't want to just. Don't want to like.
Do you have it?
Kind of. It's sitting on the pad right now. That's fine. I've got my hand on it.
Can you help me pull it out now?
Yeah, you jump out, well.
Alright. Well, it'd be easier if we just slide it.
Slide it on my hand. Okay.
Alright. Yeah, I think you definitely need someone to give you a hand. Big thanks to my brother for helping me out. Oh my. So we are going to get this thing all cleaned out, which I wasn't able to do last time since, you know, I barely had any room to work in there. So, yeah, you can definitely see I had an oil leak. It's nice and wet there. So, yeah. All right, now I'm going to take this guy off, and I'm not going to go into too much detail on how to take all of this off, take the clutch off. I was able to find resources online for that. I'm really just trying to show you guys how to get to this point, because that's what I couldn't find online at all. But you can see we just have so much room to work in here now. I can fit most of my arm in here, and you know, you got 1.5 feet there to work, and that is just so much easier to do all of this now. So I really would just encourage you guys to actually take apart everything you've seen me take apart. I may make a second video showing you guys how to put all this back together. But again, if you're actually doing this much on your vehicle, I have a hunch you have enough know-how, enough experience to be able to get this back together. But yeah, we'll kind of see how that goes. Again, let me know in the comments if you guys have any questions that I may be able to help you with. There are some other videos I've seen that would be able to fill in some gaps of what I've left out. I may be able to help you guys out with. So anyway, thank you guys so much.